Hello everyone, Glieken here, and I'm bringing you a Friday Night Magic with an Oath of the Gatewatch draft. Looking at this pack, which one's this one? This is the one that puts plus one counter on things. I think I'm gonna go with Malakir Soothsayer here. Other things that I could take would be the Freed Runner's not the worst, Sweep Away, Saddleback Lagak, or the of the Ruins of Warren Reef themselves. Walk of the Waste has actually not been that awful. Generally it's a 4/4 or 5/5 trample, which is does get a little bit annoying, but we're gonna take this Malakir Sooth here to start off with. Next up, Seed Guardian is very good. The Alpha Protector can go well with our Soothsayer, but I think Seed Guardian is just powerful enough that we're going to take that over it. Pyromancer's Assault is a fun thing and we could consider doing. Dwar Isle Avenger is pretty good. Step Glider is pretty good. Yeah, to me, it's between the Seed Guardian, the Step Glider, and probably the Avenger. But we're going to go with the Seed Guardian just because it is quite a powerful card. Green definitely got better with Oath of the Gatewatch compared to the old Battle of Zendikar draft. Don't necessarily want to pair green with black though. However, black green, great. Like we just get a couple of the corpse turns, just fill our graveyard, just do everything that I want to do in Magic. I love the graveyard. The graveyard is my favorite zone. 100% my favorite zone. Follow the cards around and come to us. There we go. Here's between the Spider, Kozilek Shrieker, and Flame Tendrils. I'm thinking of going with the Spider here. Yeah, I think to me it's between the Spider and the Flame Tendrils. I'm gonna go with the Spider, just because of these two cards. I'd rather play the Sea Guardian, and Flame Tendrils is gonna be double black, Sea Guardian's double green. Hopefully, and also I think the Flame Tendrils is looking at more of a controlling deck. I mean, we're going to be controlling, but we're going to be controlling in terms of creatures currently. Just having like 2/3 blockers, 3/4 blockers, both with reach, just make it hard for anything to get through. Yep, we'll pick up this Netcaster Spider. If we do end up green-black, we'll be hoping to find a couple of the green allies in Battle for Zendikar. Another Netcaster Spider here, probably. Loam Larva I don't think is worth it. Unknown Shores, we probably would not mind one or two of them. Eventually, if we end up with anything with color, like if we end up with a Kozilek Shrieker, Unknown Shores can make it. But we'll just pick up another Netcaster Spider here. But like I was saying, we wouldn't mind seeing the Tajuru Warcallers from our Battle for Zendikar pack, because they're both powerful cards and they give us an ally if we end up playing black with our Soothsayer. Looks like we got a nice little backup of packs here. Corrupted Crossroads. Could just go with this Baloth Pup. It's a 3/1 with upside for 2. It's just be either Baloth Pup, Tar Snare, or the Submerged Boneyard in case we want to splash anything, or if we end up with any of the Converge cards in Battle for Zendikar. But I think we're just gonna stay on color and stay on curve and take this Baloth Pup. If we end up with any of the support cards in green, then we'll probably be picking them up pretty happily. Alright, here we have a Kozilek Shrieker. We have Shoulder to Shoulder, which we could move into white, especially since we now have the synergy with the Baloth pup. Warping Whale's been pretty decent. We just try and pick up a couple of colorless sources, or just take the Holdout Settlement. To me, it's really between the Translator, the Holdout Settlement, and the Shoulder to Shoulder here. I think we're gonna go with the Holdout Settlement. It's both, especially since these gives us options to splash. It also gives us a color source in case we need it. Shoulder to Shoulder isn't necessarily the card that I want to push me into white. However, these 3 white cards, not necessarily this one, but these white cards might make me look at white a little bit more. Or I could take the Corpse Churn and try and go all in on this graveyard strategy. But I think our choices here are between Allied Reinforcements and Searing Light. And we're going to go with Allied Reinforcements in case we get any of the synergies that go with that. Searing Light's not going to have us scared too much because we'll have Netcaster Spiders and Seed Guardians. Here's between Cinder Barons and Elemental Uprising. I think we're going to go with the Elemental Uprising. I've yet to play with this card, but it's gotten me enough times that I'm willing to try it out. As just like, if you have it on turn 3, just having it as a removal spell for whoever their turn 2 or 3 play is. Again, we could take the Cinder Barons in case we want to look at some Converge cards. Here's between the Walker in the Waste and the Harvest Troll. I think we're just going to take the Harvest Troll. It's going to be big enough, or it's a big enough threat that it's actually worth the threat, and especially if we have like a random ally, or if we get Eldrazi spawn running around. Something meaningless to sacrifice to. Here I'll take the Alpha Protector. Aw, poor Pyromancer's Assault. I think you're a perfectly playable card. Here I'll take the Cloak, just in case. I'll also take the Witness the End. Don't really like Ruin in their Wake. However, if we do get a Waste in our deck, Ruin in their Wake might be worth it. Yeah, we'll take the Ruin in their Wake. I don't think there's a world where we're gonna play it, but you never know. Here we'll just take the Lone Larva, just so that green cards aren't in the pack. Natural State is a perfectly fine sideboard card. And we'll just take this Negate. A lot of times at the end of packs, I'll just, instead of taking cards that are playable, I'll just take cards that are in my color, so that I'm essentially like cutting off my potential color. Ooh, another Malakir Soothsayer. So that people are just seeing less of the color and are less inclined to go into it. What does this do? Whenever a creature dies, put a Scion to the battlefield. That might not be awful. I could also take this Immolating Glare if we want to be green, or green-white. War Cleric is also fine. Leave my examples not the worst. It's actually really close in terms of taking this. I think I'm going to go with the Immolating Glare. If the Immolating Glare weren't here and it's between like Undo War Cleric and this guy, I think I'd take this guy, but Immolating Glare is just a hard enough removal. I think we're going to take it. Yeah, we'll take the Glare here. Could take another Harvestor Troll here. Oblivion Strike is also here. I think we'll just go with another Troll. Or the Pulse of Marasa is also not awful. Or Shoulder. Now that we... Actually, I think I'm going to take the Shoulder to Shoulder. One of these cards could very easily come back to us. Maybe we just want the Harvester Troll. And then try and wield the Shoulder to Shoulder. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Harvester Troll here. We're just going to try and pick up some... Just pick up a more aggressive build here. Hero take a Netcaster Spider. Foil Soothsayer. Hero take a Scion Summoner. Scion Summoner is what's going to work really well with these Harvester Trolls. That, and if we get a couple of like Call of the Scions or anything like that. Here's between the War Cleric and the Lead by Example, and we're going to take the War Cleric. Yeah, I definitely could see it. Could have seen it staying black, especially how the second pack's turning out. Oop, Bailoff, no. This card is just great, and it's in our colors. And we have one way to splash it currently, and we'll probably pick up another one. Taking our Scion Summoner. Elemental Uprising again, a consideration. Same with Shoulder to Shoulder. But Scion Summoner, especially if we end up sacrificing our guys. If our rare comes back, that could actually be some decent combos going on with our little sacrifice deck. Ooh, I'll definitely take this guy. This guy's just big. Wouldn't mind getting one of these Pulse Marasas that we've seen running around. But we're just going to take this playable guy first. Here's between the Lead by Example and the Corpse Churn. We do have a Bailoff Null to go with the Corpse Churn. We'll do the Lead by Example. The instant speed support can it's definitely something that can ruin someone's combat math. Especially since we have some more cards that are going wide with these Scion Summoners. Alright, there's that Pulse Marasa that might make our deck. Especially if we end up playing that Bailoff Null. Which we even if we're only splashing with like a Swamp and the Holdout Summon, we'll still play the Null. Don't really like the Spawnbinder. I could like the Spawnbinder Mage. And actually look at that. We have currently 3 allies, 4 allies. I can actually see Spawnbinder Mage making a deck. A little bit more than the Pulse. So we'll take the Spawnbinder Mage here. Here's between... Ooh, these are actually three cards of this level that I wouldn't mind picking up. I think we're going to go with the Mighty Leap. Since we don't necessarily need anything that's colorless, so this is just going to be a 2/3 ramper. We're going to go with the Mighty Leap here. I don't think any of those 3 cards were... Like, we prefer that, and if we had picked any of those 3 cards, that they didn't make the deck. But Mighty Leap is definitely the one. We're going to take this Hedron Alignment for standard. Oops, spoilers. This is what I want to try and do in standard. That's what I do. Take the Strider Hardens. Okay, we got a Canopy Gorger anyway. So currently I'm liking how our deck's looking. Probably not playing the Soothsayer. Would love to play this Bailoff Null. Conduit of Ruin. Or Gideon's Approach. Or Grove Tender Druids. Don't really care that much for Grove Tender Druids. Conduit of Ruins, we have nothing to get, but we can definitely change that with this pack, or just play it as like a 6 mana 5. 6 mana 5 doesn't actually sound that interesting. So really it's between the Druid, the Grove Tenders, which I don't really like the Grove Tenders, or the Gideon's Approach. And so now it's between Gideon's Approach and Conduit of Ruin. I think there's just enough potential with the Conduit of Ruin. Especially since we're not really lacking too much in playable. Like, if we were struggling on game playables, I would grab this Gideon's Approach just because it's something that we know is going in our deck. But Conduit of Ruin, there's enough potential that if we pick up a Processor or Breaker of Armies, we'll be happy we got it. Radiant Flames. Take this, Core Entanglers. Yep, it's between the Core Entanglers and the Castigator, and Core Entangler is just the better choice in that option. Ooh. Sky Spawner, Invoker, Encircling Fisher. I think we're going to take the Invoker here. We just kind of want a couple more early drops. Actually, we only have the one support card, don't we? Yeah, we'll take the Invoker still. There's an Exert Influence. Take this Ruin Processor. We'll probably play this Conduit of Ruin. If we had taken more of those dual lands, we definitely would take this Exert Influence out of here. But Ruin Processor with Conduit of Ruin is pretty nice, even if we don't have any ways to exile, and still is a 7/8. Dampening Pulse. Alright, so here it's between Stalwart and the Lifespring Druid. I think we're going to go with the Lifespring Druid. It ramps us to our bigger things. Also fixes for our Baloth Null. Shadow Glider is also an option, but we'll go with the Druid. Desolation Twin. We can go all in. We can do it. Do we want to do it? No, we're going to take this Beastmaster. But we could have done it. It was an option. If it comes around, we'll do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If it's exactly our second to last pick, we'll do it. Inspired Charge is a consideration, but not as much as this is like a mini Inspired Charge, but it sticks around. Let's see, we're currently probably looking at taking out this Mighty Leap. Leap by example is okay. We're gonna try this Elemental Uprising, unless we really need another card to cut. Yeah, we definitely seem to have turned a little bit more defensive and just get these Eldrazi down. I think we just want this flyer. Yep, flyer it is. Plated Crusher? Or do we just want a Fortified Rampart or Call the Scions? We don't have that enough support that I'd be necessarily happy to take the Call of the Scions. So I think we just might want another finisher, like run that instead of the Canopy Gorger. This is just vanilla, right? Yeah, it doesn't trample over. Yeah, it's actually between these two for me. I cut this Mighty Leap. Hero take a Fortified Rampart. Might end up playing it. Oh, who knows? Take this Unnatural Aggression. We have some decent... Yeah, we have decent big stuff. We'll take this as a removal spell. We'll probably be playing it too. Another 2-drop. Poor card. Halimar Tigrifter used to be like first pick always. Could take the Seek the Wilds to try and get our black source. And also just to try and ensure that we get a thing. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be playing the Brood Hunter Worm. We're already looking to cut cards. Ah, punished. Instantly punished. Alright, we'll take it. I'll just get that out of there. We did not get our Desolation Twin. Alright, so let's cut these Seek the Wilds. Elemental Uprising we probably will be cutting. Don't want the Canopy Gorger in here anymore. I want this Alpha Protector. I think we cut one of our 2-drops. I think we actually just want to, like, merge into a more defensive build. And just be running, like, the After Protectors, the Allies, probably cut one of these two. Probably don't want the lead by example that much anymore. So, like, cut those. Liking those. Spawn by number. How many allies do we actually have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm willing to accept that. The thing is, we actually want it to be able to tap things down. Or do we just want, like, because we're just going to be blocking with netcaster spiders and whatnot. I think we're going to cut this elemental uprising. Maybe it's something that, like, we bring in on the play, just to get rid of their first card. Or if they're a more aggressive deck, bring it in just to essentially try and take out one of their guys. Bring in this Rampart instead of these, the Snapping Gnarlid. Snapping Gnarlid wants to be a more aggressive deck. We've just definitely turned into a deck where we're just ramping up to... This is... Okay, this is the first creature of any color that you cast. Not necessarily the first colorless creature. You just search for a colorless creature. Definitely keeping these 3 cards. This is actually a creature. Maybe cut this Courier Griffin? I think we cut this Spawnbinder Mage. I think we actually cut the Courier Griffin over the Spawnbinder Mage. That's interesting, isn't it? And then one last cut. Probably this Affect Protector. Which means our War Cleric is, for the most part, just 2/2 for 2. Which means we probably want the 3/1 or the, this guy instead. That also kind of smooths out our mana a little bit. Or maybe we just want the, Seek the Wilds. Actually, don't mind that. Yeah, just trying to Seek the Wilds to help keep our mana. It helps keep our mana flowing. It helps us get to our black source. And we have 2 drops to bring in if we end up against a more, like, super aggro deck. But we definitely want to get to our 3rd mana here. And this can also help us find a creature later on in the game. I like that. And we'll play the Holdout Settlement, 1 Swamp. Or we just play 18 lands. That's another option. I actually like that plan a little bit more. Yeah, I'll just play 18 lands. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9, 7, and then 2. Well, 9, 7, technically more than that. Especially since we have double green, triple green, and we're just mostly green. So yeah, we definitely want 9, like potentially even 9, 6. But no, we'll go with this. What's great with Holdout Settlement is works really well with Eldrazi Scion, because you can tap the Scion for colored mana and sack the Scion for different mana. It seems good. And with that, we'll see you in round 1.